Behind the scenes video for Supergirl just got quietly deleted from YouTube, and fans think they know why. Tonight we're digging into the AI controversy everyone's talking about and separating what we actually know from what's just internet noise. Hello everyone and welcome to Superman Homepage Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. In this, our August 17th, 2026 show, we're going to be talking about the AI controversy surrounding Supergirl. We're going to be talking about the season finale of Season 3 of My Adventures with Superman. We've got other stuff to get through, so much to talk about in tonight's episode. And joining me, as always, are my two good friends, Michael Bailey. Hello, Michael.
Hey, Steve.
And Mark Lax. Hey, Mark.
Hello, gentlemen.
Mark's got a fresh cut tonight, all ready for the show. He's got a new do, and I was just saying to him off air that we're almost looking like twins. Michael, you're letting us down, like holding on to that hair. It's like, what are you doing?
No, it's not. Hey, guys, it's not going away. Okay, it's. I don't know if the audience realizes that I have super long hair on the back. So, you do, but I didn't know if they did, because looking at it like now, when I have it all pulled back, it just looks like I have my hair slicked back.
Have you ever thought of like doing the comb over where you like bring it fall forward?
No.
So that...
No, because I'm not the president of the United States. So,
very good, nice. Mic drop, literally.
Yep.
Your mic just drop. Sniper in the audience. All right. Plenty to get to. Hey, hang on. Plenty to get to tonight's topic. But Mike, if we have a chance, we like to take some callers, and here's some information on how they go about doing that.
All they have to do is go to supermanhomepage.com/live and press call now. That's the button. It says it right there. I don't know why. I was going to say something else. Or they can use their smartphones and scan the QR code. Now, either way, you're going to be dropped into the green room, and you can watch the show as we're doing this, as you wait to get on. Now, if you are watching the show on a laptop or desktop and you're using an external speaker to listen to us, you're going to need to mute that when you're on the show, because we're on a bit of a delay, and that screws things up. And if you're using your smartphone, please use your headset or earphones or something, because speakerphone doesn't work for us.
Yes, and if you're a little bit shy or we don't get a chance to have callers tonight, then feel free to participate in the comments. Everyone is watching us live tonight is either doing it through YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. And on any of those platforms, I should say, you can post your comments, ask questions. Michael, Mark, and I can see those, and we'll react to them as we go along. But if you'd like your comment or question featured on the screen during the show, that's called a super chat on YouTube. There's a dollar symbol there. You click on that symbol. A slider will appear on your screen. You decide on the dollar amount you're willing to donate, and we will feature your comment live on the screen as we go along tonight. There are also super stickers and super thanks if you want to give those a try. And thank you to our sponsors and patrons, our Superman Homepage champions, Douglas Meacham, John Patrick Van Pelt, Tina Murray, Sullivan Project Podcast, and Kara Luca for your financial support. You keep this show free for everyone, so thank you so much. And if you'd like to have your name read out at the beginning and end of every live broadcast, then simply go to or click the join button below on YouTube, or you can go to patreon.com/Superman Homepage. There are different levels of membership with different levels of perks. All right, so thank you. And if you're watching this right now with us, give us a thumbs up or a like on whichever platform you're on. It helps the algorithm tell people that we are live and people are watching us, and they might be able to spread the word, and other people will be able to get on and watch live with us right now. All right, without further ado, let's get into tonight's topics, and let's start where it all began in regards to our main topic tonight. And at the beginning of the week, the Warner Brothers Entertainment YouTube channel posted a 6-minute video showing us a behind-the-scenes look at the making of Supergirl, specifically how they turned Jason Momoa into Lobo, and that it was a dream job for him, a dream role, a job that he'd been wanting to get for ages. And people went through that video with a fine-tooth comb and found something that they thought was a bit suspicious. gonna show you a little bit of the video kind of now. There's no audio to it, but as you can see there, you've got Jason Gillespie on the left of your screen and Jason Momoa leaning in from the right, and they're looking at the laptop there, and there seem to be different little images of Lobo in various different, costume designs or makeup designs, and they go through them here between them, and they're looking at them, and they're showing you different takes on what their hair might look like. And people have accused Warner Brothers or DC Studios or Craig Gillespie of using AI to create this character designs, or to come up with character designs. And then Warner Brothers Entertainment pulled that video from YouTube soon after, which kind of made everything a little bit more obvious, I guess, or just brought the whole thing to light and kind of gave credence to the accusations.
So I think this is, as we are often fond of saying, kind of a storm in a teacup. I'm not a fan of generative AI.
Mm-hmm.
This is the thing, is that everyone's like, AI is all bad. The spell, your grammar check is AI. Your autocorrect on your phone is AI. It's a fairly innocuous AI, but it's an AI nonetheless.
Mm-hmm. True.
What some people seem to be concerned with is people using it to create special effects or using it for artwork, music, etc. There's a lot of controversy involving the fact that companies fed AI copyrighted materials and all that. That's all a problem. Using it as a tool in your basically your pre-production. What is the difference between this and using just using a computer generated images in general? Now, the difference there may be that with AI, you just type the commands in and it produces it, and with Photoshop, you have somebody like Steve, who is a graphic designer, that is creating the image for you. I'm wondering how many unpaid interns that goes to in entertainment, in all honesty. This is one of those controversies that just makes me think that we've got bigger fish to fry in the entertainment industry and in the world right now, and with AI, than did they use AI to make Jason Momoa look like Lobo. Now, if they used it in a movie, I'm not a fan of AI in film like that, but this just seems to be a pre-production thing. So, and them pulling the video does not help their case at all. Like you are, the worst thing you can do in a situation like that is remove it, because then all the conspiracy theorists are going to be like, "Oh my god,
Yeah,
they were right. We were right. We've cracked the code." And it's just, yeah, come on, people. Let's complain about real things.
Mark, you have a view on this?
I just using it for what they used it for. I see absolutely no problem with it. Doing it, for the, if they use it as for special effects or something in the movie, then I'd be no, 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 no. But this is different. AI is everywhere. I mean, I watch YouTube a lot, and I see these, thumbnails. Hey, this looks like a good video, and I get on the video, and you could tell. I mean, just by the voice and everything, it's all AI generated. It's all AI generated, and it just, it turns me off. But in something like this, they're just putting up some, designs and pictures and things as to what they want to do, and just go from there. I don't think they're not using it in a I don't want to use the word dangerous, but they're not using it. Like I said, they're not using it in the special effects, and they're not using it in the movie. They're just using it, as a design mechanism to say, well, look at this and look at this. What does this one look like and that one look like? And that's it. and people just make such a big deal out of it.
Yeah,
I understand AI is so no AI is huge now, and people are
100%.
really they don't want it anywhere, and I get that. But like Michael said, it's everywhere, and we're using it all the time. It's when they use it instead of people, humans actually doing the actual work that should be done. They're using it for AI for and that sort of thing. Then I'm totally against it.
See, I think maybe because I'm in technology and in design, I'm maybe might surprise people, but I'm not against the use of AI in many respects, as many people might think I would be because I'm a designer, and it has taken work away from me because people are now using AI generated images where they might have employed me to create something that was just like a digital thing to put up on Instagram or social media for their company or what have you. They're just turning to a cheaper format. And that's neither here nor there, but for, that first and foremost, what they used it for, what it appears they used it for here, I don't see a problem with it. They're coming up with concepts. They're coming up with different iterations of something. If that's what they did, because there's still no proof to go between one and another. It could be a Photoshop job for all we know. It doesn't necessarily have to be that, but the fact that they pulled it but down from YouTube makes you think that yes, they've kind of, oh, guilty as charged, let's pull it down kind of thing, and that's where it looks suspicious. As who was it in the evil Mr. Lint 1225 in the comments says, is mocap too much? Is that a step too far in regards to creating imagery for, what happened to costume designers? Didn't they used to have somebody who would do a physical costume for, so look at General Zod in Man of Steel. Michael Shannon wore these pajama things to mimic where the costume would be, where maybe in past they would have hired somebody to design the actual costume that he would have worn, but instead they got him to wear these pajama things that allow a digital artist instead then to create it around him, and that's saving the company money because they can do it digitally easier and quicker than trying to create something physical that he would have had to have worn. So
that, and they have more control over what the costume does in like action shots and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
there's
why,
a practical element to it for why they do it, but still it would have saved them money.
Yeah, but my point is like the cape as well was mostly CGI in Man of Steel, and I think I think there's pros and cons to that. But you're absolutely right. They're not taking a job away from a costume designer to give it to a computer. They're giving a costume designer who probably still there was probably still a costume designer sketching things out, but then all of those were given to an artist in the computer department, and they created something.
Yeah, instead of a costume maker and sewing seamstress and all that kind of stuff, putting it together or what have you. So it's an interesting one because I've seen people like George Lucas say, it's like, should we go back to the horse and carriage because cars are taking jobs away from a carriageman, where now you're just driving it yourself.
So I push back against that argument because the idea of a car taking away the job of a horse and carriage person, that horse and carriage person could then go and drive cars for a living, whereas AI is taking away jobs and not replacing them with anything. So I in the artistic field. So that's I'm not trying to sit here and get in an argument with you, I promise, because you're my boss and you could go back at any moment. But
we could go back and forward on, and there are different arguments for both sides of it, and whether or not it is taking jobs away, or whether it's you just go into a specialist field or what have you. And this is not the argument here. This is not what we're here to discuss. But it's whether or not it's a problem for previs. And I don't think it is necessarily for what they supposedly used it for. And I don't understand the outcry or the uproar about this particular instance where it might have been used. And at the same time, I don't understand Warner Brothers Entertainment then pulling the video from YouTube because of that. It just makes it just validates that viewpoint. And people, technology is moving whether you like it or not. Technology is going to continue to be part of every industry where computers are used. And if studios can save money by using technology, then they're going to continue to use it. And we are going to continue to see movies and TV shows where generative AI is used, whether we like it or not. And it's going to get to a point where we aren't going to be able to differentiate between what was and what wasn't. And the lines are just going to be blurred. But the controversy is just going to continue, and people are going to be polarized on both sides of the argument. And I don't think we're ever going to find a medium ground where everyone's going to agree, because that's just human nature.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the reasons why people have a lot of pushback against it now is that there is an uncanny valley nature to the artwork. There is a very like when you're looking at like my Facebook feed, for example, my fellow podcasters and stuff are using AI to create album artwork, and you can really tell, okay, that's obviously AI. There's music that is really popular on TikTok that is like folk versions of this song.
Yes.
And it's all the same voice. Literally the same voice. And so there you can tell it. I'm actually a little worried about when we can't tell anymore. And I think, and it's not like with computer CGI, because you guys are older than me. That's not a shot. It's just me
Fact.
setting up that we remember when CGI was brand new. When and there are movies with CGI from the 90s when it was very primitive that look better than the CGI from like the early 2000s. And then it got to the point where now movie backgrounds are on set as CGI in the background. Like, it isn't a green screen anymore. It's a screen that's showing it's Zoptics almost.
Yep.
To bring it back to Superman. And you can't tell anymore. I mean, you can if you really know what you're looking for, but the average moviegoer is just going to be sit back and go, okay, this all looks real. This was obviously filmed outside, and it wasn't. I'm just worried about when we get to that point with AI.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the concern for many people in many facets of life, not just for movies and television and entertainment industry. But yeah, and if this is as bad as it's going to get, then it's only just going to get better. Like, we're at the infancy of AI being used for this kind of stuff, so it's only going to improve. And I know that there's a lot of pushback against it, and I think that's why shows like ours, what we're doing right now, are gaining such traction amongst the populace, is because people are craving real human interactions, real human content, and that's only going to be more important as AI becomes more prevalent. People are going to be looking for real human interactions and real human content, rather than what is, just going to be anybody with a good prompt is going to be able to generate stuff. So we'll see where that goes. Mr. Matlock, which is John Patrick Van Pelt, in the comments has given us a super chat saying, can you guys see a future Superman film using AI for the flying sequences in the future? We're already seeing fan-generated stuff now with fights and things like that, with C-Dance 2.0 and all these other new AI generative software that is allowing things like, having Christopher Reeve in the Superman costume in different things. And the problem with those is, while they look kind of cool, and I've done some AI kind of review videos, there is no heart to them. You cannot replace Christopher Reeve's acting performance with Christopher Reeve's look. It's not just about how it looks, it's about the performance. And AI is never going to, in my opinion, I may be wrong, but is never going to be able to have that emotional context for acting. It may be great for action, for flying, for things like that. Yes, definitely they'll be able to generate that kind of stuff with AI, but I don't think they're ever going to be able to do the performance level with AI that a human can perform.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
mean, it's basically like, yeah, obviously we can, because that we do computer generated. I don't know why I pronounced it like that. Uh, my pencil, my growing up outside of Allentown, Pennsylvania, is starting to seep into my accent once again. Um, you're seeing that, you see that now with CGI, and
Hmm.
there's early flying CGI that looks like crap, and now it looks really smooth. So
I mean, just go back
yeah,
to Superman
definitely.
Returns, the end sequence where he looks very cartoonish, and you're thinking, "Wow, that looks really
That shot
bad."
of him, that shot of him falling
Yes,
after he pushes it. I remember sitting in the theater going, is that like a video game cutscene? Because that's the quality of what I'm seeing here.
yeah, exactly. All right, well, let's push on. Mark, was there something you wanted to finish off with?
No, no.
Okay,
I
cool.
think I think we've exhausted this
Yes, I think we have too.
subject.
A bit of a, like Michael said, a bit of a storm in a teacup when it comes to that particular
Yes.
video, but Warner Brothers Entertainment taking it down does not help the situation. One video they didn't take down, or well, actually, it wasn't a video. It was more just an interview with the art of VFX. They did a interview with effects supervisor Jeffrey Borman, looking behind the scenes at Supergirl and discussing everything from Kara's flight work to Crypto to Lobo and the film's massive one-shot sequences. And he revealed that there was something like 1,000 different 1,856 visual effects shots that were in the film, which is like crazy.
Yeah, it's always interesting watching the VA, the behind the scenes stuff, because sometimes it does take the magic away a little bit, I think. Because if you were totally immersed in it, now suddenly you're seeing you're seeing that there is that it was a green screen and not a real background.
Mm.
Or my favorite example is my wife, on a practical sense, being really upset watching the guy actually pushing BB-8 around in episode 7. Like, but sometimes it gives you like a deeper respect for what these people are able to accomplish, because you're like, wow, I didn't realize that's what it looked like in real life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I always enjoyed watching behind the scenes stuff, and a lot of times, a lot of that stuff was practical at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and you didn't have all of these CGI stuff and all that. Like you're talking about Michael Shannon in a pajama type of thing. You see that, and you're kind of like, huh, what is that? And it takes some of the magic away by seeing stuff like that. I mean, I always enjoyed, like Superman the movie, the miniatures and things
Mm.
like that. And I know that too might take a little bit of the magic away, but it's just fun to see how they did that. But when you're seeing stuff that's supposed to be really vivid and and all it is just someone in a thing in a green suit walking around, and it's kind of like this doesn't this doesn't look very interesting. I mean, it's like it's not real. And I think that does take something away from what you see on the screen.
Mm. It's kind of interesting looking back at, say, Superman the movie and reading the book on the making of Superman the movie, and hearing about things like positioning a water tank upside down with the backdrop of the San Andreas Fault, and dropping in an eye droplet, and so that when it hit the water, it created that plume that is the explosion of the nuclear weapon going off. And it's like, wow, that's just such a so in what's the word I'm looking for? Innovative. That they can think of, doing those kinds of things to kind of mimic what it would look like.
Also, that scene where Superman stops at the window and he flies off, and the guy looks and he goes, nah,
Mm.
because he's sitting at the desk. That was done. That was flipped over.
Yeah.
So the guy was really on his side like this, and Christopher Reeve was standing on top, or something to that
Yeah.
effect.
Yeah. Oh, we used to do
That's
those
how
kind
they,
of
that's how they filmed
effects as
that.
kids, filming, sitting up
Yeah,
against the wall and, putting the camera on its side so it would make it look like you were actually, things were floating at you or what have you, dropping in on you. So it's kind of fun to look at those effects before computers came into being. All right. While we're talking about Superman the movie, if you are in the the Doylestown, Pennsylvania location, County Theatre is presenting a special screening of Superman the movie on August 19th at 3:30 p.m. and 7 p.m. So County Theatre in Doylestown, Pennsylvania. All right. That's the movie side of things. Anything else you guys wanted to touch on movie aspects before we move on to the television side of things?
No, we're in that weird holding pattern
mm,
again that we were 2 years ago, waiting for any kind of like new news on Man of Tomorrow. I actually kind of like the fact that no one's really talking about it right now,
Mm.
because I don't want people to get so used to it and then burned out by the time that it comes out. So once again, I think they're handling the marketing on this pretty spectacularly.
Yeah, I mean, we do hear from time to time some behind the scenes. Oh, they're filming here, or there is, some leaked footage of them filming in certain locations. But for the most part, it's kind of been quiet because of the fact that, they're moving on to other things. We've just had Supergirl; it's now on digital, and the DVD and Blu-rays will be coming out in September. And then we had Lanterns premiering yesterday.
Hmm.
On HBO Max. So everyone is talking about Lanterns at the moment, and then there'll be Clayface soon after that coming out in the movie theaters.
Will it?
So
Will there be a lot of stuff about Clay? I'm not saying that to be sarcastic. I
no,
am
but I'm
one. I am really wondering how that film is going to play. That is a total wild card.
yeah,
if they
fair
if
enough.
they promote it as a horror movie, that might that might
Yeah,
make it a little more successful, because it's
Yeah,
all about the body horror and all that.
yeah,
So if they
true.
play it that
right.
way, more people might say, "Yeah, I hate body horror," but more people might go, "Oh yeah, I'm going to go see this. It's going to be kind of creepy," and
Yeah,
that might help.
that
But
might
if they
help.
do it, it's certainly not a superhero movie,
No,
So I don't know how they're going to do it. The only way is to make it a horror movie.
yeah, true. Did either of you watch Lanterns? Just quickly.
I haven't seen it yet.
Well, once again, I am waiting for it all to be over. I am terrible about this. I'm like,
You like to binge?
uh,
Yeah.
it's how I like to read comics now. It's how I like to watch TV. I don't want to wait, and it's not that I don't want to wait because suddenly I think that's the proper way to do it. I'm just lazy, and keeping up with stuff is just bandwidth I don't have right now. I'd rather really literally, because here's the thing: streaming television is completely different than network television.
Hmm.
There was a point when, like for Smallville, for example, is like week to week to week to week. That was excitement. It was appointment television. You watch the preview for the next episode, and then you go to the Superman homepage or other websites, and you're like, looking for all like the pictures from the next episode and stuff. And there was like an excitement. When it's 10 episodes and it's going to be over in a certain amount of time, there isn't that impetus because they don't make us have that. Doing it weekly is better because it prolongs the talk about it. Once those 10 weeks are done, that's it.
Yeah, well,
So,
I mean, it is being released weekly, so but 10 episodes, I
yeah.
understand where you're coming from, or it can be fairly short, and so some people might prefer to sit and wait and watch them all in one go or in a quick succession. I did watch the first episode last night in bed and enjoyed it. It was a little bit slow to start with, but as a DC fan, I liked a lot of the Easter eggs that were in there and a lot of the callbacks to the comics and characters that I understood who they were. Where if you're coming in watching Lanterns with no real context, you might get a little bit lost in some of the references. But all in all, I think it was well done, and looking forward to episode 2, and I'll continue to watch it. My wife started watching it with me, but kind of 3/4 in was like losing interest. So it's hard.
That is the trick, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is the trick. You know, like Rachel is more likely to watch stuff with me, but whether or not she's talking about what's going on the screen is where I'm going to gauge her interest. If she's over just scrolling on her phone, I'm like, this has nothing for her. But if she's actively asking questions, then it's like, okay, this is going to get to the muggles. So,
all right, we are going to take a quick break. We're at the halfway point of tonight's show. We are going to play some messages and come back on the flip side to talk about the season 3 finale of My Adventures with Superman. We'll be back right after these messages. Whoop, I'm pressing the wrong one. Here we go.
We'll be back in a moment with the exciting climax of today's episode. So stand by.
If you're enjoying Superman Homepage Live, then please like and share this video with your family and friends. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, then you can click on the bell to receive notifications whenever we post a new video. You can also join our YouTube membership program, just click the join button below. Or you can become a patron and support our website by going to patreon.com/Superman Homepage.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. No, it's SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. SupermanHomepage.com, covering the world of Superman from the 1930s to today. News, reviews, rumors, and reports. SupermanHomepage.com for all your Superman comics, TV shows, movies, cartoons, radio shows, and more. Everything you ever wanted to know about the Man of Steel and more. SupermanHomepage.com.
Thanks, Superman Homepage, for all the support over the years. I really appreciate it.
I'm Matt Bomer, the voice of Superman and Superman Unbound, and this is the Superman Homepage.
Right here on Superman Homepage.
SupermanHomepage.com? All right.
Hey, this is Christopher Gorham. You're on the Superman Homepage.
Hey, this is Sam Witwer, and you're watching Superman Homepage.
Just try one. If you don't like it, it's easy to give up.
Uh-oh, nicotine. I'd better move fast. Up and away!
Go on, kid, go on.
Superman, is it hard to give up smoking, or is it easy like nicotine says?
You no-good windbag, nicotine.
No, Superman. Leave me one. Please, I need one. Yes.
That's how hard it is. And that's why I never say yes to a cigarette.
And we're back on Superman Homepage Live, where, again, if you're wanting to be a caller on the show in this next half hour, use the supermanhomepage.com/live and press the call now button. All right, let's move into the discussion for My Adventures with Superman Season 3 finale. I am catching up, and I have seen this last episode, as has Mark. So we're happy to answer any questions you might have. And speaking about questions you might have, Mr. Matlock, which is John Patrick Van Pelt in the comments, is going hell for leather, sending us his questions about this episode, which we will get to in a second. But Mark, your thoughts and feelings on this particular episode? Did you enjoy it?
Oh, I loved it. I I've binged the last few episodes, and I think this is the best season.
Okay.
Really, I've just really been enjoying it. I've been enjoying the different takes on the characters. You know, when the show in the first season, I was a little the way they, the parasite and all that were just so different than what the actual characters were. But here, I like the different takes on all of these characters. I thought it was exciting. I thought it was just a lot of fun, and it was just it's hopeful. And I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the last episode, but I enjoyed watching. I binged like the last 3 episodes or whatever, and thought they're all just wonderful.
Superman doesn't get a lot of screen time in his finale. He's missing for most of it, but he obviously turns up at the very opportune time, and it's very heroic when he does, and very colourful when he does. Let's go through the questions that have been in the comments. Has Raoul always been Krypton's living son? Because I don't remember hearing the name in Superman the movie when baby Kal-El came to Earth. So it wasn't never used in Superman the movie. It wasn't in the Donner cuts, but Raoul has always been, or for the longest time in the comic books, Raoul has been known as Krypton's son and almost a deity in some stories as well.
Created by, the name is from Marv Wolfman.
Okay.
Oh, he created
the name Raoul?
He came up with the name. Now, I have a theory about where it came from. Because there is a line of Italian foods here in the States that's RAO. It's pronounced Rayo. I found that out from a commercial. But it all stems from a longtime restaurant from New York City. Marv Wolfman grew up in New York City. So it's entirely possible that he was walking down the street one day, saw that, went, I'm going to use that for the Kryptonian god.
There you go. Okay. Is the Eradicator really that powerful that Superman would lose? Well, this version of the Eradicator is very powerful, and we saw that splitting him in half actually just made him twice as powerful almost. So that is this version of the character. The Eradicator in the comic books is as powerful as Superman in many ways, but it's a completely different character to what we're seeing in My Adventures with Superman. So any character is as powerful as the writers need them to be, is the answer to that question.
Well, I liked when the character's first introduced. He's very much a Doomsday type character.
Mm-hmm.
They seemed every time they almost defeat him, he gets stronger.
Yeah. And we saw that at the very end there where, though he was being defeated, it was regressing through each of those stages.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, very interesting way of creating that character. Mr. Matlock also says, who is Slade and has he been part of the previous episodes? Yes, Slade's been it from the very beginning. Slade is their version of Deathstroke. He's who Deathstroke's secret identity is. Slade is Deathstroke. So he's been in it since day one, since I can remember. So he's always been there since season 1. Has the Kryptonian armor appeared in other Superman media prior to My Adventures with Superman? Superman has used Kryptonian armor in different formats, whether it's a battle suit or has been armored in something, regeneration suits, all those kinds of things. Kryptonian armor has been part of comic books, animated series. He used different Kryptonian or some kind of armor in Superman the animated series when he had to go into space. So, it's always kind of been something that they've used from time to time, especially when he has maybe lost his powers.
Yeah, this particular suit, I don't think it's ever been in the comics.
No,
but it's just another version of
Kryptonian technology.
Yeah, exactly, and it is colorful and it's bright and it's nice for the first suit when he gets back for the first time, with his powers.
Wasn't sure about the shoulder pointy things, those attachments.
Well, all right, those are a little.
That was
pointy,
a bit weird.
They get knocked off pretty quickly.
They do. Actually, the whole suit doesn't last very long
pretty quickly,
at all.
So.
If My Adventures with Superman does get a 4th season, do you think we will see John Kent and Lara again seeing Brainiac as the villain, alongside seeing Brainiac as a villain? I think Brainiac as a villain is maybe done. I kind of think that is kind of in the past now. As to whether or not we'll see the children of Clark and Lois in the future again, possible. I mean, I don't see why not. That's always a possibility because this show has, especially in season 3, shown that they like to lean into that. And It's very, if they're loved by the audience, then there's no reason why they might not return. Yeah, Mark.
I just want to say I like that they use the Kaluans and put that together with Brainiac.
Mm-hmm.
You know, using that he was a Kaluan. He was that Kaluan that he saved.
Mm.
Yeah, and I like that they did that.
Very cool.
Because that's originally, he was from Kalu and all that.
Yep. If it goes for a fourth season and Clark and Lois get married, will they get married in season 4? We did see at the end there, sorry again, spoiler alert for those who may not have seen this yet, but Lois actually is the one who proposes to Clark. And it's been Clark who's been heavily leaning towards their future together and the farm and, his miniatures and all that kind of stuff. So it will be interesting to see where they go and if that happens in season 4, because in my mind, they're still kind of interns and it's a bit weird that they're already talking about marriage.
Well, these crazy kids.
It's
crazy kids, yeah.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see if they do. Now, season 4 has not been greenlit as yet. We do not know if a season 4 is coming. Before we get into a bit more on that and what Jake White, one of the showrunners, had to say about season 4, we did see at the end of this episode that Lex Luthor has perceived something about, when he was looking into space, he saw something that kind of, makes him fear for the future. Any thoughts on what that might be?
I don't know. I mean, we've already done the whole. More actual Kryptonians coming? I don't know. I mean,
because we've done the Brainiac. We've done Brainiac.
Yeah,
we've done Kryptonians.
So Darkseid?
Gee, wow.
It could be, given the love of 90s and early 2000s that this
show leans
creative leans into, maybe Imperiex.
Maybe that'd be interesting. Yeah.
Who knows? Yes. Darkseid, Imperiex. There's got to be some kind of a cosmic villain out there that maybe
Warworld.
Warworld. With who knows where they might go.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Mongol coming
yeah.
with Warworld. Sure.
So, yeah, it could be interesting to see what Lex has kind of perceived out there and what he is feels threatened by, but we will wait and see. As for whether or not the show will get a 4th season, Jake Wyatt said that it has not been renewed for a 4th season, but the views have been great. He says it's been their best ever as far as ratings are concerned, and that DC Studios, Adult Swim, HBO Max have been great with the show. But at the moment, it's kind of in the hands of James Gunn and Peter Safran, who are fans of the series. But the decision rests with them as for whether or not the show gets a 4th season. But they've definitely left it open for the show to finish now, if that's the case, because they've kind of left it open-ended, but it kind of has put a nice little bow on things. But there are threads that they could pick up on for season 4, and I'm guessing that most Superman fans who do watch the show would be hoping for a 4th season, because this show has been a revelation in many regards. It is not a rehash of stories that we've seen before. It is definitely blazing its own path, using familiar characters and familiar ideas, but with its own spin on it.
Yeah, I mean, they did the reign of Superman without the death of Superman.
Yeah.
And it was it came out, perfectly, I think. So,
fingers crossed.
after this season, I would certainly hope there's a 4th season.
So, just put the word out there, folks. If you want a 4th season, just keep hammering James Gunn and Peter Safran on social media and say, we need a 4th season, cannot wait for a 4th season, and just keep it out there so that the powers that be will consider picking up the show, because we don't want to have to wait another 2 years for another season. We waited a long time between season 2 and 3, and we want to keep that momentum going along. So let's hope that they do renew it for a 4th season. We'll keep you posted on any details that come to hand. But Toonami is loading up the complete season 3 for a marathon back-to-back across 2 different nights. So on Saturday, August 22nd, starting at midnight, so the night of that Saturday night or Sunday morning, you'll get the first 5 episodes of season 3 back-to-back from 12 a.m. onwards. And then the following weekend, Sunday morning at 12 a.m., you'll get the final 5 episodes of season 3 from 12 a.m. onwards. So you can set your DVR or get up and watch them, or whatever you have to do if you want to watch them back to back to back to back. So that is over the next couple of weekends. All right, well, that's the TV side of things. Any kind of final word on my adventures with Superman from either of you? No.
Nope.
Okay.
Just you're in for. I know you've heard a lot of stuff, Mike, but you're in for a good ride to watching it. You know.
I assumed so. I really did.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right. On the fan film side of things, filmmaker Donnie Callahan, who's someone I've met in Metropolis and I've followed for quite a few years, his Superman World War fan film received great reviews and got millions and millions of views. They're coming out with a reworked director's cut. I'm not sure how it differs or how it will be different to the 2019 release of the film, because as the director of a fan film, you imagine that he would have put in what he wanted to, but he's revisiting with a fresh perspective, allowing him to reshape the material and bring the film closer to his original vision. So I imagine maybe technology at the time stopped him or didn't allow him to do maybe what he had perceived as the version of the film that was in his head. But they're coming out with a director's cut, and here's a little bit of a promo for that if you want to kind of refresh your mind. I've never watched it before. Here's a bit of that. So very dramatic. Looking forward to Donnie's version coming out. Not sure exactly yet, but when. But we'll keep you updated on how that progresses. Have either of you guys seen that original release?
I've not. No.
I have not, and it's nothing against the people who make them. I don't watch a whole lot of fan films.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's something I should devote time to at some point.
I was in Metropolis, Illinois for the Superman celebration when they released this, or they brought the release of this out, and thoroughly enjoyed it and got to sit down with both Donnie and, I forget his name at the moment, but the actor who played Superman, and had a great little chat with them both. I think that interview might be up on our YouTube channel, but you can see the passion for it from those folks and the great crew that was behind it, and well done to them for continuing on to push through and get a new vision out of that fan film. But if you haven't checked it out, I'm sure it's still up on YouTube, Superman World War. All right, on the collectibles side of things, McFarlane Toys has given us a first look at their upcoming Doomsday Death of Superman Gold Label action figure, which I'm going to bring the image up for you right now. I brought this one up, Michael, because I thought you might want to have a bit of a say about this before we move on to the fans' favourite section of the show.
It's not a real Death of Superman
No.
Doomsday because of the top knot. It's the top knot that does it.
Okay.
That is really from that Reign of the Doomsday storyline.
Yeah.
That came out in 2011, and I remember when they had put out a figure of this one, and I bought it and I posted it, and I made the joke, how does he do the top knot with those hands? And Dan Jurgens himself basically commented, yeah, he shouldn't do that at all. And it was one of those examples and it's one of the reasons why I love Dan, is Dan can be really snarky at times about certain things when it comes to his creations. I remember when they announced that what was his name, Agent Liberty, was going to be a bad guy on Supergirl, and he had some things to say about that. So I was just like, that's going to be my thing for that. Every time I see the top knot, I'm going to be like, Dan hates it.
Very cool. Yeah, this one will come out August 18th, exclusively at the McFarlane Toys store. All right, let's jump into the fan favourite segment of our show. All right, our question from last week was, what is your favourite version of Kryptonian landscape or Kryptonian technology as far as like their visuals are concerned for architecture, Krypton itself, the cities? So we had a few people respond to this one. Michael, who was up first?
JP Rocha wrote, my favorite architecture from Krypton comes from a kind of recent variant cover by Jorge Jimenez. Action Comics number 1064. Jorge's Candor design actually seems alien and not just an artistic interpretation of what could be Earth, even as a potential futuristic Earth.
Very cool. Thank you so much, JP.
And Heath Fedor wrote, my favorite Krypton cityscape is from Man of Steel. Also missed last week's fan favorite. My favorite Jor-El is Jeff Johns and Gary Frank's Superman Secret Origin Jor-El. He looks like he just came off a bender. He'll probably hit on Kal-El's girlfriends.
Thanks, Heath. Okay.
All right.
Very cool.
Hey, kids, I got some beers out here. Anybody want to come and swim?
Michael Varchetto wrote in saying, Steve and Mark and Michael, I would have to say my all-time favourite would have to be the one from Man of Steel series by John Byrne, although I really like the ones from Elseworld Story, Knights of Steel, and Father of Tomorrow. So thank you very much, Michael.
Kara Luca wrote, I think my favorite version of the city of Krypton would be from this year's Supergirl movie. I feel like we really got to see Krypton, what it was before it eventually, quote-unquote, died.
Thank you, Kara.
And Ryan Ignatius Pratt wrote, my favorite design for Krypton's architecture would be that from Superman the movie. To be honest, in my imagination, I probably see Krypton as a blending between that of Richard Donner's film and the world presented by John Byrne in the Man of Steel miniseries. But if I must pick one as a favorite, it's likely Superman the movie because of the impression its Krypton left on me growing up. On a different note, I thought I would also mention that I was fortunate to recently attend the Inventing America, the Comic Book Revolution exhibit at the Skirball Cultural Center in Los Angeles, California. The exhibit runs until February 28, 2027, and I highly recommend your viewers check it out if they happen to be in town. Attached are some pictures of myself with Action Comics #1, Superman #1, and the penciled sketch cover by John Bogdanov, thank you, and Dennis Janke for the Death of Superman trade paperback, should you deem them worthy to be shared. I asked one of the exhibit guards if the copy of Action Comics #1 was indeed an original, and he assured me that it was. He also noted that the guards were informed to keep an extra eye on that particular item as museum visitors viewed it.
Very interesting. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Ryan. That's a great little trip there.
Wow.
Thank you. Next up was Mo Walker, who says, my knee-jerk response to this week's question is the version of Krypton introduced in the Christopher Reeve films. However, I would like to highlight a more unorthodox pick, the version of Krypton from the sci-fi series Krypton. The show only lasted for 2 seasons, but provided viewers the opportunity to familiarize themselves with the planet's architecture and culture. I cannot think of another live-action version of Superman or Supergirl in which the audience spent a significant amount of time on Krypton. I appreciated the show's architecture because it felt familiar but alien. For fans of the crystals, that was embodied within the show's version of the Fortress of Solitude. Viewers were also treated to some Dune references, along with a touch of Zack Snyder's Man of Steel film. So often Krypton is depicted as a dying or dead planet. I appreciated being able to experience this part of Superman mythos in a different manner. Thanks as always for your dedication to the Man of Steel. Thank you so much, Mo.
And finally, Aaron Hammonds wrote, my favorite drawing of a Kryptonian city is the picture of Kryptonopolis from the first few pages of the World of Krypton miniseries of 1979. Saw it my older brother's copy and always thought it looked really cool.
Yeah, that is very cool, very Art Deco. Well, there you have it. Thank you so much to all those people who responded to the fan favourite question. They're getting very detailed and very... just loving the responses from everyone. JP, Heath, Michael, Cara, Ryan, Mo, and Aaron. Thank you so much for responding. Do either of you guys have a favourite version of Krypton architecture?
Oddly enough, no. And it's not like I dislike it. Well, okay, that's not true. I hate the crystal Krypton. I hate it at this point. I've just gotten... I think they have just completely done that one to death.
Yeah.
I appreciated it for the movies, but when they started bringing it into the comics, dear God, 20 years ago, and not letting it go in a lot of ways, I'm just like, I don't need to see crystals ever again.
Yeah, I don't really. I mean, I've enjoyed the Silver Age and Bronze Age look. The one that the last one that was mentioned that you just showed.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one that I enjoyed. The burn version to me was too cold, and again, like Michael said, the crystal version, it's fine for the movie, but enough already.
Very cool.
So,
all right.
Yeah, I would go for more of that older version.
All right, we're going to rush through This Week in History with Michael.
Come with me now, my son, as we break through the bubble of your earthly confinement, traveling through time and space.
Really helps that there's not much to go through. 1946, we have Adventure Comics number 109. Despite the fact that you see Superboy obviously participating in an event he shouldn't. The story inside is about him taking care of the terrible scourge of pinball games in Smallville. 1956. Yeah, I know. 1956, we have Superboy. It's a lot of Superboy leading this off. Dealing with the Power Boy from Earth. That guy needs a better costumer. 1966, we have both Superboy number 133, which shows Super Baby's first foster parents who are obviously arrested for mismanaging funds. And we have World's Finest Comics number 161, which was an 80-page giant reprinting a bunch of classic Batman, Superman, Robin team-ups. In 1976, we have All-Star Comics number 63. The Superman of Earth 2 was part of the team by this point. And Superman Family number 180. A lot of Supergirl, a lot of Lois Lane in this one. 1986, the first full appearance of Lex Luthor in the post-crisis era happened in Man of Steel number 4.
Mm-hmm.
1996, we have Action Comics number 726, Superboy number 32, and I think one of the best comics ever written, Total Justice number 1. Never read this. It's terrible. I love the action figures that it's based on. This series is awful. 2006, we have 52 number 15, which has a Booster Gold cover, which the story really starts getting good at this point. And then in 2016, we have Supergirl Rebirth number 1, where they lean heavily into the TV show, and Superman number 5 as we continue the Superman and his son's battle with the Eradicator. In the real world, August 17th is traditionally recognized as the birthday of Lois Lane, as Steve shows a image from the 1988 Ruby Spears series. And quite appropriately, 3 days later, on August 20th, Amy Adams, who played Lois Lane in the Snyderverse, was born in 1974. And the more you know, which is an Amy Adams joke. I hope people appreciate it.
Apologies, I didn't give you the new fan favorite question for this week, and it is, what is your favorite version of Metropolis? Favorite design for the city of Metropolis? Which is your favorite look for Metropolis? info@supermanhomepage.com is the email address to send those responses to. Well, that pretty much brings us to the end of tonight's episode of Superman Homepage Live. I hope you've enjoyed the show tonight. Thank you to my two co-hosts, Michael Bailey. Thank you, Michael.
Pleasure as always, Steve.
And thank you, Mark.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Now, don't forget, we'll be back next week on Monday, August 24th at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time for another edition of Superman Homepage Live. Hope you'll join us then. Thank you to our Superman Homepage champions, Douglas Meacham, John Patrick Van Pelt, Tina Murray, Sullivan Project Podcast, and Cara Luca. And don't forget, if you want to watch this episode all over again, it's be available on our website and on our YouTube channel. I'm Steve Eunice. On behalf of myself, Michael Bailey, Mark Lax, thank you for watching Superman Homepage Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com. See ya.